Hello, you've made it to week 3. Congratulations. I hope you've been enjoying things so far. This is maybe my favorite week that we're going to do because we're really going to focus on some tools and techniques, some hands-on stuff that you can use. And we're going to break this into a bunch of different lessons. They're a little bit shorter each, but we've got a bunch of stuff to cover. So this first lesson is in our verification and debunking module here. And I'm really going to focus in on some overall guidance for verification of content online. And then 2, we're going to look at photos and videos. All right, so let's talk about some of the principles of social media verification. This is adapted from information that Claire Wardle from First Draft has put out there. The first thing is you need to think about whether you're looking at the original piece of content. One of the things that happens online is that somebody shares a photo and then it's taken, it's downloaded, it's copied, and it's put up everywhere. Especially true with videos as well. People are going to take the video and re-upload it themselves. So can you find that original first piece of content and who shared it? Really important. That's that second piece, source, who captured it. The person that you see sharing something, there's a very good chance they're not the person who took that photo, who shot that video. That is a really big cornerstone piece of all this. So you need to find that original image or video. You need to find that original source. And that can often take a fair amount of time. Last 2 things that are really important are date and location. One of the most common types of misinformation that we see online is, say a real photo taken and reshared by someone recently saying, hey, this just happened in my city 5 minutes ago. But in fact, the photo is 4 years old. So you need to make sure that the date and the location are confirmed, as well as the source and that original piece of content. All right, so how do you go about doing that? Well, let's talk about images and video. These are some of the most common and powerful types of misinformation that you're going to see online. Some basic tips that I have for you here. The first thing is, again, you need to find the source, the person who actually took the photo, who took the video, and get them to send you that original footage, that original photo from their phone or from their camera. And I'm going to show you why that's so essential in a second. But please remember that this is really, really important. You need to find the person, you need to talk to them, and you need to get them to send you that and any other other photos and other footage they shot. When you're looking at that actual photo or that actual video, there's so many clues in there. There's if it's a video, what language are people speaking? Is there a particular accent? Are there street signs? Are there license plates? How are people dressed? What can you see taking place in terms of any key people who you're interested in? These are all amazing clues, and you really need to dissect what you're looking at. The other thing that you can also do is you can look at weather reports and you can try to figure out, well, is this late in the day? Is this early in the day? Is it raining there? Was it raining in that city? So you're really taking on the approach of a detective to look at every single clue that's in there, and that's really important. The other thing that is super essential, and you can use it for both photos and video, is reverse image search. So for example, Google offers this. There's also a service called TinEye that offers it. And so it's really important that you use this. This is one of the most useful tools out there. And basically the way it works is that search engines, in addition to kind of indexing and finding web pages and looking at the text on them, they do the same for images. And so if you go to the Google image search, which is that first image there, and you click on the camera, you see where my cursor is? If you click on that, it pops up a menu where you can either paste in the exact location of an image, so not a web page, but the location of the image itself where the file is, or you can actually upload it from your computer. And then once you do that, Google or these other services are going to scan everywhere else they have found copies of that image. And the reason that this is so useful is that it will show you where else online that image is. Who else has shared it? How is it being described? That example I gave you off the top of an old photo being reshared as new, reverse image search is probably the best way to figure that out. Because if somebody says, yeah, I took this photo 10 minutes ago and it shows what's going on in the city, but you do a reverse image search and you see that exact photo has been online for 5 years, you know that it's not true. So reverse image search, super duper important. Second thing that's really important, and this is in particular one of the reasons why we're asking you to find the person and get them to send you a copy of that original photo to you, is that in addition to all of the clues you can see, like license plates, street signs, landmarks, there's also the data that's embedded in the image itself. When a camera takes a photo, there is data that is put into the file, and the way you can see it is by using what's called an EXIF reader. And so this is an example of a photo I took years ago where I was taken with an iPhone 4S. We can see here. We can see other information like the date and exact time it was taken. We can even see latitude and longitude, the exact location I was. And this is like the holy grail. If you get an original image straight from a camera, data will be there, this kind of metadata. But not everybody will have location. Not everyone will give you lots of information. So sometimes you get a lot of EXIF data and sometimes you don't get as much. But the thing I want to emphasize to you is that if you ask somebody to send you the photo directly from their camera, and they say they've done that, and you put it in an EXIF reader and there's no metadata there, that means it's not originally from their camera. Something has happened. It has been uploaded or something has changed the metadata. And that itself, the absence of data, can be a signal. A tip related to this is that anytime someone uploads a photo to Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, etc., the metadata is stripped out. So if they send you something and it has no metadata, well, chances are this is not the original photo. All right, let me give you a quick example of what this looks like in practice. So I saw this tweet of a display in this guy's claiming it's in Florida, and we wanted to figure out, is this real? And so what we have here are a few clues. One, we see him saying it's in Florida, so he's claiming that. And then two, if we look at this, we see this sign, which is a sign that is only used at Walmart, and we can also see a little Walmart logo up in here. So this guy is claiming that this display was put there in a Walmart in Florida. And the question is this real? Or is this also recent? And so one of the things I did was a reverse image search, and we can see here that I don't really get any results. I don't see where else online this image has been. Here's the image, here's my results. And so that's a sign that yes, okay, maybe this actually is a recent photo. And then I contacted the guy on Twitter and I asked him to send me that photo, which he did. I put it in an EXIF reader, and we have the camera, we have the date and the exact time, we have a large file size which indicates that it's an original. So now we know it's not really anywhere else online. We know that the EXIF data is there. We know that he's claiming he took the photo. And of course we also called, we asked him where exactly, which Walmart he was in, and he told us that. But the other thing that I could do, of course, is I could compare the date and time in the EXIF data to the date and time of his tweet. And so we can see here that there's about a 14-minute difference between the metadata saying when it was taken and the tweet being sent, which would seem to confirm that he took the photo and then shared it on Twitter. Now remember, one of the things about everything online is metadata can be tampered with, it can be faked, but the average person is not going to do that. So if you're able to confirm that he is in Florida and he did go to the Walmart, if you're able to confirm that there is a display there by calling the store, then obviously you're not so concerned about someone manipulating the metadata. So as always, getting those multiple sources is really important. The last thing I want to emphasize with photos and videos is a fantastic browser extension that you should be installing. So it's called the InVid browser extension. This is the logo over here. It's in the Chrome extension store. You can just search online for InVid in Chrome and you can install it. And everything that I just showed you, reverse image search, looking at metadata, and all of that can be done through this one extension. It has different elements here of the metadata. It has different elements for reverse image search. So this is a one-stop shop for verification for photos and video. In particular, it's really good at extracting metadata from videos as well. And so it's a really, really useful tool. Just to give you an idea here, on the metadata side, you can put in an image or a video and it's going to extract that EXIF data for you. And also when you put in a video, the thing that it does for you is it extracts thumbnail images from the video itself. And then it gives you the option, you can see here, to do reverse image search on Google, on Yandex, on Twitter, and on TinEye. So these are all options that you can use to actually search and see where else a video is online. Reverse image search works on footage from a video too, and InVid puts it at the touch of a button. Last two things I want to highlight right now in images and video is that InVid also has a great advanced Twitter search function, which you can use to search specific accounts and within specific locations and date ranges. And then the last tip here is just to let you know, this also works for Instagram, is every single YouTube video and Instagram post has a unique code that's part of its URL. So where I'm pointing here with the arrow, everything after the equal sign is the unique code. And if you take that and you search it in Google or you search it on Twitter, you're able to see where else people have written about or reported on that particular video or Instagram post. And in particular on Twitter, what I like to do is see the first person who shared it. Maybe they're the person who shot the footage, maybe they know the person who shot the footage, but it's always a good clue. So remember, EXIF data, remember reverse image search, remember the InVid plugin, which is amazing. And again, you've got to find the person, you've got to find the original image or footage, you've got to find the person who took it, you want them to share that and any other footage and photos they may have with you, and then you're going to run through some of your tests like reverse image search, EXIF data, interviewing them and trying to triangulate and confirm what you can actually see in the footage and actually see in the image. All right, thanks.